Okay, here is an honest question for you. How many of these do you currently pay for every month? Netflix, Amazon Prime, Geo Hotstar, maybe a gym membership, a productivity app perhaps, or even a learning platform. Now, here's the uncomfortable question. How many of these are you actually using every month? Not passively, but actively. You actually watch these content platforms regularly, and you go to the gym every month. You actually take the learning classes, or you do the activities that the productivity apps throw at you. So, if you're anything like me, your answer to this is also that you don't necessarily use this on a regular basis, right? So, welcome to the regret aversion trap. And in today's video, we're going to look into why this happens, why do we keep falling into this trap, and how do we stop doing this in the future. Because I'm very sure there are some people watching this video who probably paid about 1 lakh rupees for a gym membership, which they haven't visited since Holi. So why does this happen? Now let's try to understand the psyche behind this. For example, let's look at the gym membership itself, right? So you spend, let's say, to a fancy gym, you say that, you see that the membership rates have dropped, there is a huge discount, especially this happens around the new year period. So you're very motivated, you really want to build a great physique this year. You look at it and you say, you know what, this year, this is going to be my resolution. I'm going to work on my fitness and I'm going to visit the gym every day. Now you go for the 1 lakh rupee or whatever amount that the membership fee is, and you very comfortably put your name on the registration paper and you make the payment. Now, come the first few weeks, you are super motivated, you are in the gym regularly, you've bought that protein shake, you've bought the right gym attire, you're posting reels, you're posting status, and you are very, very happy. And then real life catches up with you. Now, there is a key deadline at work, or your family needs your help, or somebody in the family has fallen sick, so you need to take care of them, or you yourself has fallen sick, or you need to take an unplanned travel trip. Now, all of this, what it does, it breaks off your routine. And as soon as a pause comes, the motivation slowly fades away, and then you never visit the gym again. But funnily enough, you paid for the entire year. So you are still paying for the gym membership that you are never visiting. In fact, even people who are paying on a monthly basis, they find it very, very difficult to actually go and cancel that gym membership. Because it's not about canceling the membership. The reason you're not able to go and cancel it is because you are not able to accept the fact that you are not a fit person or you don't have the discipline to keep going. The membership wasn't the mistake, it's the fantasy that the membership created about you and yourself that became a mistake. So, what happens in regret aversion trap? Now, most people think that they're paying stuff for access, but they're actually not. What they're paying for is to avoid regret. Because when you cancel the membership or the subscription, what you force to acknowledge is that maybe I am not the fitness or I don't have the discipline to become a fit guy. When you cancel the learning app or you cancel, let's say, a language app, what you're essentially saying is you're accepting that you don't have the discipline to learn something new. And that is a very, very difficult thing to accept. So the cancellation feels like a failure. So what your brain does is it is trying to compensate for it and say that, you know what, I'm not going to stop paying for this because I am going to get to it. I am not that person who gives up on their fitness or gives up on their learning. So let me keep paying. And as soon as I have time, I will make up for it and I will definitely go there because you're not willing to accept failure. This is exactly what we call the regret aversion trap. But the only challenges with all of this is that while you do manage to avoid the regret, what you do not manage to avoid is the money that you're spending for it. And this bias has become very dangerous for India because we are becoming a subscription economy. India has about 60 crore OTT viewers now, and of which about 15 crores are actively paying subscriptions. The market continues to grow rapidly as we have more and more subscriptions coming in. You have Netflixes, your Prime Videos, your Hotstars, your Sony Lives, your Z's, etc., etc. And plus, of course, now you have your Chat GPT subscription, your Claude subscription, your Spotify subscription that you just cannot let go. And these small expenses start to add up. If you roughly look at a household who are actually spending money on these, you would do the maths and you will understand that a typical household ends up spending close to 10 to 20,000 a month on these subscriptions, which if you add up for a year, it's close to 2 to 3 lakhs a year. Now, from a financial freedom perspective, that's a huge hit to the amount of money that you can invest and eventually build your corpus on. So that is a huge setback to what your future corpus could become. And here's the ironical part. It actually is harder to quit the subscription or the payment for the larger investment. For example, if you have a 200 rupee subscription versus a 10,000 rupee gym membership, it's actually harder to stop the 10,000 rupee gym membership, even if you're not using it, because now your ego is involved. The larger the money that you spend for something, the larger the regret that your brain is trying to avoid, your ego is trying to avoid. The larger it takes for your mind and your ego to accept that no, you are probably not this person. Now, because it is impacting your identity, you find it even harder to let go of, and you keep pushing the decision in the future, while at the same time you keep paying for it. It's not, it's not an unknown fact. Businesses know this very well, which is why they want you to be on these subscriptions, because it gets harder and harder to get out of it. One time purchases are still very easy to avoid, but if it's a monthly subscription, then it attaches to your personality, it attaches to your identity, it attaches to your ego, and it becomes then very difficult for you to detach from it. Now, because you are this identity, even if it's a perceived identity, there is very little truth in it, you still are quite okay to pay for this every month to keep up the identity. Now, even if you visit the gym, let's say once a month or twice a month, you keep giving yourself the same feedback that, yeah, maybe I'm not going to the gym every day, but I do go. So I am a person who goes to the gym, and I can tell that to people. So this is something that the businesses also understand very well, which is why if you see, most of the subscription plans are put to you in this way. So for example, there will always be a monthly subscription rate that is available, but at the same time, they will tell you, hey, why don't you go for an annual subscription, and we'll give you a discount of 1 month or 2 months. Because they know the likelihood of this person actually using this for the entire 12 months is very less. So businesses tend to make a lot more revenue from a person rather than a person spending just every month. Because the chances are there is a higher likelihood that the person who's paying on a monthly basis is not so attached to that identity, but a person who has spent it for 12 months definitely wants to live up to that identity and will be quite willing to pay for it. So, if you are trying to become financially free, you want to build a corpus and you want to become rich, then these are some things that you will have to stop doing so that you can reduce some of your expenses and increase some of your investments every month. My suggestion, look at all the expenses and the subscriptions and the memberships that you have. Genuinely take a close look. Don't fall for the identity trap. If you're not utilizing something on a regular basis, please reconsider about canceling these memberships and then instead use that money in the right way and invest it. Yes, of course, if you feel like no, you use that on a regular basis or it really helps you, then continue to do that. Nobody is going to stop that. But what I am saying is that stay away from the regret aversion trap. That is a financial trap that is very difficult to come out of and can take thousands and lakhs of rupees from your future corpus. Thank you for listening to me. See you next week.